If you go on Steam's page and open up indie section, it is just filled with endless and endless roguelikes. Roguelikes recently have just become the template for indie games and not their own separate genre. It's really just the default setting for indie games now. The worst part is, I still buy like every single one. So, how did this trend even start in the first place? I think there's really three major games that I can think of that really started this. The first one I want to talk about today is The Binding of Isaac. It's not the first roguelike ever made, but it is the one that really started the template for the modern genre. Players never knew what upgrades or builds they were going to get, which made every playthrough feel very fresh and different from the last, which created hours of replayability to the game. The second game I want to talk about is Hades. Well, at the time, roguelikes were already really popular in the indie game space with the game of Binding of Isaac, but Hades is really what brought it to the mainstream. I mean, it sold over 1 million copies. What Hades did different, and it expanded on the genre, it combined fast-paced combat with amazing storytelling. Players would get invested into the story and the character development rather than just solely the gameplay. And it also fixed one of the biggest issues that roguelikes had. While instead of making dying feel like a chore, it made it rewarding. Death in Hades revealed more about the characters and provided resources for permanent upgrades. This would become the staple of roguelikes moving forward. The last game that I want to talk about is Balatro. It took a very familiar game like poker and then turned it into a roguelike. It used the form of jokers and also just that randomized upgrades that I talked about earlier. This game went absolutely viral on all social media. It's the biggest reason of the new wave of roguelikes that have been coming out recently in the past 2 to 3 years. I also want to mention Slay the Spire and Risk Rain. While I don't think they're as influential as these three games, they're still really big games in the roguelike community. But what was the reason that roguelikes have become really enticing to indie devs? Well, honestly, roguelikes are very cheap to make. Instead of having to handcraft dozens to even hundreds of levels, developers can just build systems that do it automatically. Roguelikes also can just be attached to any game genre. I mean, name a genre and there's a roguelike for it. I mean, there's even a dating sim roguelike. Because the structure is just so easy to rely on, many indie developers would rather avoid spending years building a fully story-driven game, instead they can put together a roguelike in just a few months, and often end up with a product that performs better commercially. This leads to genre fatigue. Even when the games are good, seeing the same loop over and over starts to get old. You stop noticing what makes each game different and just start seeing the same structure repeated everywhere. After a while, the runs feel similar. A good example of this is after Balatro came out, a lot of games started copying its art, style, and ideas. I mean, there's literally countless of just gambling roguelikes now. I mean, there's even just one that you flip a coin. If you have made it this far in the video, you should like the video and subscribe to my channel. I do plan on making more videos like this, so if you liked it, like it. I don't think roguelikes are bad. I mean, some of the best indie games are roguelikes, and the genre clearly isn't going to go anywhere. The problem is just how dominant it has become. The same system that made these games successful is the reason why I think it's almost worse today. And yeah, there are roguelikes that still try to do something different, but only a few actually push the genre forward.